handle rejection?
So rejection for me is inevitable, right? But each individual doesn't always know how to handle rejection. Guilty. That's me. So to be honest with you, when I first started with the juicing business that I'm doing right now, that was my biggest fear. It was rejection.
Mm.
Because the thought of going out there, right, and offering something that I know is good for people and them saying no, how do I handle that? So I had a conversation with a fellow brother coach, and he said to me, he said, Monique, if they don't want your product, it's their loss. You just said it. What you have is healthy. What you have is good for them. If they don't want to take it, that's fine. The worst case scenario, which I had another friend tell me too, is that it'll go right back to my family and we'll benefit from it
Mhm.
if there's no sales, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, when it comes to rejection, you do want to have a good support system because it can't just be you fighting against the rejection battle. So whether that's friends, family, other business partners, or people that you just meet,
Yes.
Mhm.
that has that sense of support and has that drive, and also entrepreneurship. It's not easy. It's about rejection. So the best thing you can do is just be realist, right? Rejection will come, but how do you handle it?
Mm.
That's how you're going to get through the rejection. What you think, Penny?
Yeah, it goes back down to the 80-20. 20% circumstantial, 80% how you respond.
There you go.
Oh,
Okay.
I was thinking 80% nutrition and 20% exercise, but I like that, right? That 80-20 is different. Okay,
Yeah.
tell me more. Tell me more.
Well, I mean, most of the outside things that happen, are circumstantial. We can't
Mhm.
control that.
That's true.
But how you respond will make it a bigger issue or
Hmm.
not so big of an issue.
That's right.
So if you know that what you're trying to sell is beneficial for them, you don't lose. They
Yeah,
lose.
that's true.
So,
That's
that
true.
how you respond to that is that 80%. That's within your control.
Mm,
Mm. There you go.
gotcha. That makes sense. Another thing I realized too with rejection, and I don't know if you've experienced this, is that rejection today may not be rejection tomorrow.
Oh.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yes, so and I realize that too because when I go around and I ask and I say, "Hey, would you like a juice today? Or are you buying a juice today? Or would you like to take one home today?" No, no, not today, not today. And then I look at them and say, I wonder if they actually really want to buy.
Mm.
And then when I go back the next weekend, they end up buying. I don't know their financial situation. I don't know their house or home situation, or they may just not be interested at that moment. But I shouldn't use that as a tactic for me to stop trying.
Mm.
Yeah.
The other thing with rejection, if you if the way it's harder for people to reject you that I've noticed is if you make it personable.
Yeah.
When I go into a barber shop or a salon or a tattoo shop and I say, "Hey, anybody want to buy juices?" There's some people that sit, grown adults that will sit and want, but they don't want to come out and say, "Oh yeah, I want one. I'll grab one." They'll sit back quietly. But if I go to them personally and I say, "Hey Penny, would you like to buy a juice today?" It makes it personable. And
Mm.
even if they wanted to say no, sometimes I'm like right there. So it's like that. Do I deny her or not? And then most cases they'll say either, "Yeah, sure, what you got? I'll try one." Or they'll say, "Well, no, thank you today." And I can respect it. But because I made it personable and came to their space, that rejection to me, the rejection meter just kind
Yeah.
of came down.
Mm.
Have you ever experienced that?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah. So do
Yeah.
you just say, "Hey, you want to buy a book?" And they'd be like, "Oh, yeah, actually, yes."
No, but I do work retail.
Okay.
So with that, when you offer different products, people say no a lot. So I guess maybe I'm used to it. So
Mm.
it's not like a big deal.
Oh,
Um, Books wise, I give a lot away. So
yeah.
I don't think anyone's ever turned down a free book.
Uh, this is true.
So
This is true. I would never.
yeah.